So, you're probably wondering, how did we get to this point? Well, to answer that question, let's rewind to the beginning of the episode. Yeah, believe it or not, this is the beginning of the episode. To Be Hero X, an anime that has been making rounds all over in the anime industry and the anime community for all the good reasons. Chances are you've probably seen clips of this show on TikTok and YouTube, seeing many people recommend this show and the hype that is built around it. But the real question is it worth watching? This video may answer this question for you, since I spent one afternoon catching up until to the latest episode, and oh boy, do I have a lot to talk about. Now before I start this video, I do have to put out a disclaimer warning that those who have not watched the anime yet, that this video will contain possible spoilers. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. Immediately when you jump into To Be Hero X, you are introduced with the opening composed by the same person who has done an opening for Attack on Titan, Blue Exorcist, Guilty Crown, Seven Deadly Sins, and recently, Solo Leveling. Inertia might as well be the most addictive song that I've ever heard recently. If you ever watched To Be Hero with your homies and you ever ask them, why don't you just skip the intro? Now that your senses have been recovered, how do you feel today? Don't care. Anyways, To Be Hero X is an anime where superheroes rise through the ranks, earning society's trust, all to claim the #1 title of Hero X. The premise is not new by any means. I mean, My Hero Academia has the same premise, where aspiring heroes aim to become the symbol of peace by reaching #1 and earning the people's trust. Superheroes fighting bad guys and combating crime is not new. I mean, we see that all the time with superhero shows in Marvel and DC. I mean, this is a superhero genre, for crying out loud. But To Be Hero X takes a different approach, one that doesn't solely focus on becoming the hero of justice, but one that becomes dark, like
very, very dark.
To Be Hero X is a superhero anime where a mysterious individual rose through the ranks like a rocket flying to Mars with no affiliation to an organization, no management, no origin story, nothing. A vigilante operating the shadows who fights in the shadows, opposing the corrupt system of power where corporate heroes are nothing but puppets, stripped away from their own identities prior to becoming a hero. These heroes, governed by the Heroes Association with strict control, have one goal that they and the heroes must have in common: rank all the way to the top and become Hero X. Okay, we're definitely heading into a darker territory. Fantastic. Unlike other superhero anime or any other show for the matter of fact, To Be Hero focuses on the story of 10 different heroes. Depending on the pacing, each hero has their own character arc that the viewer explores to understand their life as a hero on the surface and the dark reality beneath the surface, where the true nature of the governing system they are entrapped in. Throughout the show, one question above all else echoes in my mind, and probably a lot of these characters' minds, and probably in your mind as well: what does it mean to be a hero? Your answer might be saving people, fighting crime, solving problems, interacting with the community, working with law enforcement, having beautiful women. Did I get something mixed up here? Hold on, give me a second. And most of all, maintaining peace. Sounds about right. Well, what if I told you that the story took a different path from your typical superhero show? You think I'm playing? Nah, sit your booty down, because that's exactly what happened. The anime wastes no time introducing the viewers to a reality of being a hero in society, where your social trust value determines your place in the ranks as a hero and how much power you have. Everyone can become a hero with this trust-based system and gain superpowers that can help them become superheroes of justice. Now, to explain how this power system works, everyone has a score on their wrist that indicate how many people trust you. The higher the number of people who trust you, or the number of fans you have, determines your ranking as a hero and also influences how much power you have. And for villains, it's the opposite. The more people who fear you, the more powerful they become. I mean, it sounds easy to understand, right? The trust system seems pretty dang good on paper, and it indicates that the amount of trust you can gain is pretty much limitless. Finally, my conquest for world domination is imminent. But this trust system is often to the detriment of the heroes, as when there's a situation that the followers don't want you to engage in, the system can literally force your body to obey everything your fans say and want. For example, in the 4th episode, Lin Ling, who is one of the protagonists of To Be Hero, who was forced into a position where he had to pretend as Nice, the hero, not the personality. After Nice, fall damage, let's just say that. I don't want to get banned. Nice ended up unaliving himself due to the depression and stress that came from trying to maintain the Nice persona. Nice's manager found Lin Ling to have similarities to Nice and decided to make Lin the new Nice. His identity is no longer important as he has to pretend to be Nice to keep the fans from knowing the truth about the original Nice's demise, which allowed Lin to inherit Nice's trust points since he is now the new Nice. Where am I going with this, you ask? Well, it's important because it goes back to my point where the fans didn't want Nice to fight in Lighter, aka God Eye, later on. Since Lin is now playing the Nice persona, he cannot do anything as long as he is Nice, or as long as the public views him as Nice, the superhero. He cannot resist against the system until he can later on when he became the hero commoner. Yeah, now that I think about it, that sounds like an average VTuber career, going from corporate to indie, huh? Wait, that's exactly like a VTuber career. This is just one of the major flaws of the system, as Moon, who the fans saw as Nice's lover, her teleportation laser has been influenced to the point where she has to teleport to Nice and nowhere else until the fans were later deceived into thinking that she died, but she didn't. They kind of lied. And then later, she could finally teleport to wherever she wants. Until she got stranded on an island where the last thing that she saw in her life was Lin before her inevitable death, since she was killed by Yi-Sol, the 9th hero, who did this as a message from the Heroes Association leaders to Lin that any form of resistance against the system that will paint the association in a negative light will be punished. And that was a warning to Lin, and honestly to me kind of a punishment to Moon, but geez, you didn't have to do that. I mean, she had a life ahead of herself. And this action was done for resisting against the system that will jeopardize public perception. These stories about heroes' experiences climbing to the top, putting a facade to appeal to the audience, having their identities stripped away for their personas, corrupt management craving for money and power by subjugating these heroes into their mere puppets, and they will do anything to reach their goals, even if that means manipulating the fans of the heroes to favor them and eliminating anyone who chooses to oppose them, no matter the cost. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a totalitarian system.
Totalitarian system.
A system where it prohibits opposition and controls every sphere in society, all in the favor of those in power. Justice is obsolete and is corrupted by power, and the heroes are forced to question the meaning of being a hero of justice. Does saving people mean oppressing others? To Be Hero X explores mature themes that often feel psychological and deep, with viewers questioning the reasons of such a corrupt system that consists of very power-hungry individuals who might have a deep hatred for the current Hero X since they have no means of controlling X in any way. So they resort to smear campaigns against them and having one of the corporate heroes take the title of Hero X. I mean, how else is there a statue of X with his face cut off? These guys despise him so much, man. Many of these heroes have their ideals and motives to which the viewers will witness their ideals go against the system that governs them like a middle school detention. Man, that brings me back. Now, despite its deep themes, the show is pretty entertaining. There are moments in the show that will make you giggle, and moments showing the wholesome side of these characters. And the characters themselves have a pretty great level of relatability, and the storytelling is incredible so far in the last 7 episodes. There are hints of comedy like Lin flipping off nice in a family-friendly manner with a pinky finger. Don't know why he didn't pull out the middle finger, but anyways. Moon and Lin having fun together in the X Tower and many more. And don't worry, there are epic fight scenes that will not disappoint you. And the animation style is phenomenal. You can tell that the animators have put a lot of effort into animating the show. Some shows should definitely take a note of that one, but we're not going to talk about it. The shift between 2D and 3D somehow managed to work so well. It's absolute cinema. People have theorized that the animation shift is a result of X's power, which hints at a spatial or reality manipulation, but only the show can tell us that. Some of you may end up feeling disappointed that this might not be your traditional superhero show. Some of you may not like the psychological aspects of this show and the dark themes of control and totalitarianism, or this might not be your cup of tea in general. That's fine. To Be Hero X is not a perfect show, and as time goes on, there might be more flaws that actually reveal itself later in the show, like the solo leveling style cliffhangers. But for now, we'll work with what we've got. Now, the main question you might actually have to ask yourself, is this show worth the watch? That is a question that you have to decide for yourself based off of what I've told you, the clips of moments in the show, and the hype surrounding it. It is important to note that this video is not meant to turn you away from the anime or to convince you into watching it, as that decision is up to you to make. I'm just sharing my thoughts so far on the anime since there's only 7 episodes, so it's important that you be the judge for yourself to decide whether it's worth the time to watch. For me, I tend to be heavily interested in shows that are deep into the psychological realms, and honestly, the only thing that sold me into watching the show was the intro song. Nonetheless, I can see myself recommending it to my friends since I found the show pretty rewarding and interesting. So I'll just continue watching the series. I probably should have waited until the end of the season, but I couldn't resist talking about it, and I felt like I wanted to share my thoughts on the show because I got bored. Yeah, that's literally it. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like these, then comment down below and don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to check out this video on screen. I promise you'll like it. And anyways, thank you for watching. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video whenever that is. Later.